the man who's redefined business reinvention across Asia, Mr. Sridhar Kodumudi Rajagopalan.
Leadership is not about hierarchy, it's about service, being present, and genuinely listening.
I love how you framed innovation as a habit, not a department. And that's really a refreshing way of looking towards curiosities.
I carry forward in my career, it is this: build with conviction, lead with care, and always believe in people. That is
Wow.
how you turn years of struggle into a story of transformation.
Hey everyone, welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I'm Charu Mehra, and today we are diving into the fascinating world of business transformations where vision meets velocity, where markets turn from red to roaring, and where leadership becomes both art and science. Now, when we talk about growth, most people picture charts and numbers. But our guest today, he's the man who turns those charts into stories, the kind of stories boardroom remembers for years. He has led multi-country operations across India, Southeast Asia, and the Asia Pacific, turned around underperforming markets into industry benchmarks, and driven double and triple digit growths when everyone else was talking slowdown. From the Taj Group of hotels to Herbalife Nutrition, he spent over 3 decades shaping teams, building leaders, and architecting innovation systems that deliver both scale and soul. He's built 3,000 plus nutrition clubs in India, 1,500 plus in Malaysia, and spearheaded digital transformation initiatives across multiple regions, and drove Herbalife India's growth from 15 million to 180 million within just a few years. He's also been creative force behind APAC's first dual global innovation wins in brand awareness and customer experience, and has managed cross-functional teams of over 180 members. Today, he joins us to share not only the how, but the why behind every turnaround. The leadership mindset that keeps teams inspired, resilient, and ready to rise. Please welcome the man who's redefined business reinvention across Asia, Mr. Sridhar Kodumudi Rajagopalan. Mr. Rajagopalan, it is such a pleasure to have you on FaceTime with Leaders. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Charu, for that generous introduction. I'm truly honored to be here on the FaceTime with the leaders. It's always energizing to connect with communities that care deeply about leadership, transformation, and meaningful impact. For me, business has never been just about numbers. It's about growth in people, in purpose, and in possibility. Having spent over 3 decades across India and Asia Pacific, what kept me going is the chance to build not just teams and market, but trust. Trust
Wow.
enables scale, agility, innovation, even during uncertainty.
Right.
I look forward to sharing moments, learnings, and maybe even few untold stories. I hope this sparks new thinking for the next generation of change makers. Thank you again for having me here today.
Great. So I'm looking forward to having a great conversation with you today. So, Mr. Rajagopalan, could you share with us your journey in your own words? Maybe one or two defining moments that really shaped who you are as a leader, a challenge that you had to overcome, and one decision you still look back on with pride.
Taru, my journey started in the hospitality industry at the Taj Group of hotels. I was young, eager, working in a place where service always came first. I learned watching leaders set the standard, seeing teams go above and beyond, and making my own mistakes. That initial founding period taught me a key lesson. Leadership is not about hierarchy, it's about service, being present, and genuinely listening. A turning point came when I took on the challenge of transforming Herbalife Nutrition business in India. After almost a decade of slow growth, we reached a crossroad. We had great products, a strong team, a passionate distributors, yet our reach was limited. We needed a new approach. We reorganized India into 6 business regions, secured additional funding from the company, and built a robust business system across more than 60 plus cities and towns. We launched over 3,000 nutrition club and provided distributors with training in more than 10 local dialects to help them grow, and brought rising stars like Virat Kohli, Saina Nehwal, Mary Kom as brand ambassadors long
Mhm.
before they became icons. This
Right.
was this was more than just marketing. It was a bet on the potential, and actually it paid off. The
Right.
business doubled every year. What stayed with us most was the energy and the belief that the real transformation happens when you build with purpose and empower people to lead. Later, when I led markets like Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, and Thailand, I faced a completely different challenge. Of course, the
Right.
business was struggling and the way forward was very unclear. I just believed that if we could build trust, or we could rebuild trust, we could regain momentum. We
Mhm.
took time to listen, rebuild, focusing on not just the strategy, but also on the spirit. I brought cross functional teams together. We co created a turnaround grounded in transparency and agility. That experience reminded me the strength of coming together, working together,
Yes.
especially during the tough times.
Agreed.
Through all the ups and downs, I have learned that leadership is about creating spaces where people feel safe to ask better questions, and even
Right.
more importantly, feel comfortable asking for help. It's about turning setbacks into systems that grow not just the revenue, but also belief, culture, and care.
Right.
If there is one truth I carry forward in my career, it is this: build with conviction, lead with care, and always believe in people. That is how
Wow.
you turn years of struggle into a story of transformation.
Wow. That is so wonderfully said, sir. Wow. This is such a powerful reminder that, as you said, leadership isn't just a straight road, but a series of defining detours. And
Absolutely, Charu.
I
Absolutely.
can actually, visualize the way things turned into your favor, and it's incredible that how you turn uncertainty into purpose. So kudos for that, sir, and thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you, Charu.
So when a company is growing fast, new markets, shifting strategies, rising expectations, it's easy for operations to slip into chaos. But you've done the opposite. You build calm out of that chaos. How do you even start creating growth engine that scales across multiple countries without losing culture or consistency?
Thank you, Charu. Every business reaches a point where growth outpaces the systems in place. For us, this happened during my expansion in Malaysia. We entered new
Mhm.
cities, built new teams. We saw the sales rising quickly. Suddenly, we faced inventory problems. Distributors struggled to get enough products, and our planning fell behind. High sales also meant our vendors could not keep up with the shipping demands, and we were not ready for such a rapid growth.
Right.
Distributors lost customers because they did not have enough stock on hand. That experience taught me something important. Growth is not a sprint. It's
Hmm.
a system, and if you do not build it carefully, chaos will take over. So we paused, we strategized to have enough inventory and build a stock to a level where further growth can still be accommodated. We even arranged an air shipment of products from manufacturer, which increased
Oh,
our cost, but we initially absorbed that cost to maintain our market reputation.
yeah. Right.
We opened up more pickup centers across the country so that distributors can go and pick up product instead of waiting for them to be shipped to their
Right.
locations.
Right.
We had open communication with our distributor leaders so that they were well aware of the situation.
Right.
We set up more warehouses around the country,
Mm-hmm.
stocking products closer to the market, and building our inventory so we can handle further high growth by shipping products from the closer locations.
Wow. Mhm.
We also hired more people and built a very strong team across the regions of the country so that
Right.
they can handle the situation and plan further for growth. We could, what could be the reason? We expected growth, but we did not believe that our strategy would deliver extraordinary growth. That was a lesson to learn. If we believed in our team, our strategy, we should have put all the above plans in place before so that we did not have anything like this situation.
Right.
We would have not gone through the challenges we faced during the growth,
Right.
right? So, growth always comes with challenges. But if you can create a steady rhythm that brings people, purpose, process together, we will not just grow faster, but we will actually grow better.
Wow. Yes, yes. This is such a fascinating perspective. Calm within chaos, clarity within growth. And I've never heard about scaling, described the way that you did. I mean, you usually hear about not getting the growth that you are expecting, but you achieved more than that, more than what you were expecting. So that's wonderful.
That's right.
And yeah, and the fact that you managed to expand across countries while keeping the same culture and consistency, that really shows the strength of your leadership. So wonderful.
Absolutely.
Kudos to that job, sir.
Thank you, Charu.
So you've led multiple turnaround stories, taking underperforming markets like Malaysia and turning them into comeback country of the year. What's the first thing you look for when you step into a struggling market? Is it data, people, or culture? And how do you rebuild momentum from the ground up?
Charu, when I first took charge of Malaysia, the business was flat. So we launched fresh strategy. We opened offices across every region, built a dedicated sales team, kicked off nationwide opportunity meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Momentum picked up. And for a
Right.
while, it looked we had cracked it. But just as the things started to look promising, problems began to appear.
Right.
Sales had increased, but many new distributors struggled to keep up. They did not have system to follow up with customers, and some
Right.
actually left the business. At the same time, many new direct selling companies entered the market.
Mm-hmm.
Distributors started switching to new company. What had gone up started to come down. Soon people began to say, is this business really sustainable? We had seen our rise, now we are in our dip. That was our
Right.
moment of truth. Could we prove not just to ourselves, but to our distributors that this business could be built the right way? Instead of pushing harder, we paused
Mm-hmm.
and we listened. We met distributors face to face, understood their challenges, took bold decisions, including taking actions where ethics were compromised. We shifted from speed to sustainability. That's when the city by city model was born. It was focused on daily consumption and the
Mm-hmm.
community based support, bringing distributors closer to the customers and providing a system for steady growth.
Mm-hmm.
The rebuild was slower but purposeful. Product
Yes.
usage rose, customer activity bounced back, and above all, the belief returned. I still remember a message from a distributor who was really struggling with his business earlier. He wrote, I feel like we are back.
Wow.
That's when I knew the comeback wasn't just in the numbers, it was in the spirit.
Spirit.
That year, out of 90 plus global market, Malaysia Herbalife was named Comeback Country of the Year at the
Wow.
global gathering in the US. We had gone from decline to becoming a benchmark for sustainable growth. And it remains one of the proudest milestone of my journey. But what I
Absolutely.
truly learned in this, markets don't come back with just one big move. They return step by step, when you listen deeply, act fast, build good habits, and help people believe again. Because when belief comes back, everything else follows.
Absolutely. Like the way you said in the earlier answer, that growth is not a sprint. It happens gradually. It's like a
Absolutely.
marathon. So,
Absolutely.
you've painted such a vivid picture, sir, and I can actually feel, the pressure of the moment that you must have been. And I love how you focused on discipline and small, smart experiments rather than
Yes.
sweeping change.
Absolutely right.
So you've also been innovation lead for Asia Pacific, converting 130 plus ideas into real projects, even winning global awards for it. In a region as diverse as APAC, how do you keep innovation structured and spontaneous?
Charu, this is one of my favorite questions. Okay. Innovation is often seen as a glamorous, marked by big ideas and quick wins. In the diverse Asia Pacific region, however, it is frequently challenged by complex structures and
Right.
miscommunication. When I
Mhm.
became APAC Innovation Lead in 2022, it was clear we needed to reignite innovation and make it a core part of the culture rather than a
Mhm.
temporary campaign. We established APAC Innovation Council, selected about 84 staff members across the region to serve as innovation influencers.
Oh.
Our aim was to localize and humanize innovation, making it ongoing process instead of a top-down directive. We met monthly with these influencers to review progress, recognize achievements, and address challenges. We also
Wow.
launched many training programs, design thinking workshop, creating a process that allowed every idea to be developed. Our focus was to demonstrate that innovation is a skill that can be strengthened.
Mhm.
Initially, we received many ideas, but lacked a clear process to evaluate or scale them.
Right.
We responded by implementing a streamlined idea to pilot to execution framework, enabling teams to experiment while focusing on the impact. As a result, each country launched local innovation initiatives, leading to increased engagement.
Wow.
By the year end, we turned 130 ideas into active projects, many delivering measurable value through cost savings, service improvement, new customer engagement methods. 8 regional ideas were shortlisted globally. Vietnam and Taiwan both actually won the Worldwide Innovation Award, marking the first double win for Asia Pacific. More
Wow.
importantly, we saw a shift in the mindset as team began to view innovation as a shared responsibility rather than an isolated initiative. If I
Wow.
learned one thing, it is that innovation thrives when structure enables freedom, not obstacles. Provide
Agreed.
clear guideline, maintain enthusiasm, and give every idea a chance to succeed.
Right.
That's what we saw in APAC.
Wow, that is such a brilliant articulation of innovation, sir. And as you said, structured, yes, spontaneous. You
Yes,
made, yeah, and you made it sound less like a rigid process, but and more like a rhythm that teams and people can adhere to, people can follow. And I love how you framed innovation as a habit, not a department. And that's really a refreshing way of looking towards curiosity. So that is wonderful. Thank you for
abs-
sharing that with us.
absolutely right, Sharon. Thank you.
Great. All right, Mr. Rajagopalan, we've talked strategy, scale, and transformation. Now it's time for some fun. So
Sure.
this is our rapid fire round, and there are quick questions, no overthinking, and I want you to be as spontaneous as possible. Ready?
Yes,
All right. First one. What's one thing people often get wrong about you?
that I'm always serious. The truth is, I love humor, especially the kind that shows up in the middle of a chaos. I believe a well-timed joke can diffuse more tension than any strategy memo.
Wow, that's a wonderful thing, sir. Wonderful. Okay. So, if you had one extra hour in your day, no meetings, no messages, how would you use it?
I would go for a long walk with music. I think that's when I think clearest and get best ideas.
That's a nice thing. Uh,
Absolutely.
music is wonderful. I mean, it actually solves a lot of your problem.
Absolutely right.
Okay, next one. What is one lesson you've learned the hard way you wish others could skip?
Underestimating the impact of belief. If you trust your strategy, build the infrastructure early. Waiting for a proof can cost momentum.
Right, okay. Next one. If you could pick the brain of one non-business leader from history, who would it be?
I think Swami Vivekananda,
Wow.
he mentioned that to lead with conviction, not ego, and to build bridges between thought and action.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Okay, next one. You can instantly master one skill outside of work. What are you choosing?
I think storytelling through photography, capturing
Oh,
capturing emotion in a single frame, no words needed.
wow. That is a really nice thought. I would like to learn languages. I like languages, so
Oh,
I
that's
would want
wonderful.
that skill.
That's wonderful, Charu. Yeah.
Great. Okay, next one. If we opened your Spotify right now, what's the last song we'd find?
Hall of Fame because it's not just a song, it's a mindset. Keep pushing, keep believing.
Wow, wonderful. Okay, next one. What's your guilty pleasure after a long week of travel and targets?
A crisp masala dosa, a strong South Indian filter coffee,
Filter coffee.
and a old classic war movie. I think that's the perfect recharge for simple, comforting, and nostalgic.
Wow, wow, wonderful. Now I'm feeling hungry now listening to that. Okay, last one. If your 25-year-old self walked into the studio right now, what advice would you give him?
What advice I would give him? Okay, believe early, build boldly, and always lead with heart.
Wow, that's a good advice. I think a lot of our audiences, young audiences, can really take up this advice from you. So thank you. And that was such a fantastic rapid fire round, sir. And I really like this round because you get to know the person behind the professional. So thank you for being so
Absolutely.
candid with us.
Thank you, Charu.
So every industry has its gray zones, shortcuts, inflated numbers, sometimes even ethical blind spots. You manage teams and partners across multiple countries. Have you ever faced a moment that made you stop and think, this isn't how business should be done, and how did you handle it?
Charu, there was a moment that really made me pause. It wasn't about a major compliance issue, but something more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It started with the sales promotion proposal that looked fine on paper, but as I reviewed it, something didn't add up. The team had projected a very low number of qualifiers to make the cost look manageable. But
Ah,
instinct told me that the actual participation would be much higher. On
right.
the surface, it seemed like a quick win for a slow month. Deep down, though I knew it wasn't sustainable. I remember sitting in that meeting and thinking, this isn't how we build a long term business. It would have been easy to approve it off since the result would look great for the quarter.
Right.
But I said no, not because the idea was bad, but because it wasn't grounded in reality. At
Wow.
first, the decision wasn't popular, but over time, the team understood.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't chasing a spike in numbers. We were building a business that lasts. That's what I mentioned to my team.
Right.
There were other moments too, like times when processes weren't followed or approvals were skipped. I've always believed that as a leader, it's our duty not to just to know the rules, but to uphold them. No matter how small breach they may seem, we set the tone. So we reinforced zero tolerance culture,
Okay.
whether it was project approvals, vendor management, or staff behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We took strong action when ethics were compromised,
Right.
even when it was uncomfortable. For instance, we faced a situation in which some distributor leaders engaged in unethical practices to boost short term sales. It wasn't easy reporting it by the regional team, but we didn't look the other way. We worked closely with the company's ethics department and
Mm-hmm.
senior leadership to investigate, take firm action, and rebuild trust.
Wow.
Even the distributor community appreciated it because it showed that we stood for fairness, not favoritism.
Right.
Those experience reinforced something fundamental for me.
Mm-hmm.
Governance isn't about control, it's about creating a culture where doing the right thing feels non-negotiable.
Right.
Ethics isn't just saying no to shortcuts, it's about building systems where people don't even feel tempted to take them. In the long run, every decision rooted in integrity pays back, not just in
Mm-hmm.
numbers, but in trust, in credibility, and in pride how you do business. For
Right.
me, the only kind of success that truly lasts.
Wow, wow. That is such a powerful reflection, Mr. Rajagopalan. You know, the way you describe that pause before making the decision really hits home. And it's so
Yeah,
rare to, sort of hear leaders speak so candidly about the gray zones, the moment where pressure and mm, uh, principle collide. And taking that right step uh, is what a leader should be, and you showed that, so kudos to that, and that honesty is what make leadership real. So thank you for sharing
absolutely.
that with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charu.
So you've been associated with the Directors Institute World Council of Directors. What drew you to the institute, and how has that experience shaped your outlook as a business leader?
Charu, I was introduced to Directors Institute World Council of Directors by a close friend. While I
Okay.
was while I was not seeking certification, I was looking for perspective, and I found much more than credential here. From my first board simulation class, I saw that the program went beyond governance framework and compliance checklist. It focused on developing board directors' mindset, asking the right question, making decision under pressure, balancing ethics with enterprise. The simulations were immersive and challenged me to navigate complex scenarios, and most important, refine my judgment. The weekly training sessions and online models were equally impactful, covering topics from risk oversight, financial stewardship, to stakeholders, communication, and board dynamics. Their,
Mm-hmm.
their practical focus provided tools I could immediately apply in my leadership roles. Early on, I had moments of doubt as I recognized gaps in my knowledge of board governance. The Institute's support, guidance, and peer network fostered a very collaborative environment where learning is a continuous process. This experience provided clarity not only about governance but also about leadership. It reinforced that good governance is not about control but about fostering a culture where strategic decisions are made confidently, transparently, and most important, being a board director is less about having all the answers and more about identifying the most important questions. So
Wow.
today, I carry that mindset in every leadership decision I make. Leadership, like governance, is an ongoing journey of learning, adaptation, and continuous improvement. So thank
Wow.
you to your team. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful feedback, sir. And I really enjoyed the way you painted that picture of the simulations that you went through, and how the institute is helping you build your knowledge more. And what's really inspiring is that you have such a huge experience. You've won so many awards, but you're still looking to learning more, and you're able to identify that there were gaps in your learning, and you took that step in getting those gaps filled. So kudos for that, sir, and I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you, Charu, for that. Thank you. Thank you, Charu, for having me. It's been a privilege to reflect on this journey. If there is one thing I have learned, it's that transformation isn't a one time event, it's a mindset. Whether you are scaling a business, rebuilding a market, or leading a team through uncertainty, the real work is creating systems that carry soul and cultures that outlast any single leader. I am grateful to Director Institute for shaping how I think about governance, ethics, and long term impact. And to every listener building something, remember, trust your instinct, ask better questions, and always bet on people. Because when you build with conviction and lead with care, you don't just grow, you inspire growth in others. That's the legacy worth chasing. Thank you, Charu.
Mr. Rajagopalan, this conversation has been a masterclass in leadership, transformation, and the power of reinvention. You've shown us that success isn't just about hitting numbers, it's about creating systems, culture, and people who can keep hitting them long after you're gone. Thank you for taking us behind the scenes of what truly makes a market and a leader come alive. And to everyone listening, if you're building, scaling, or turning something around, today's episode just handed you the blueprint. Mr. Sridhar Kodumudi Rajagopalan, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I'm Charu Mehra signing off. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep leading with purpose. Thank you.